Hey, what's going on YouTube? Today I want to go over some changes that I made to the lightning on hit build and kind of explain how this has made the build tremendously stronger, considerably better, and kind of my idea for what the build should end up being, because I still am not sold on right where I am right now, but I'm working on like molding the build into something a little different. But it's going to require a few extra pieces of gear before I can make a full transition over on, like, say, the skill tree. But I do want to show you, I did end up changing some of the passives. So I ended up taking 3 points out of Silver Rune and 4 points out of Reactive Ward, and just pulling the points off the Mage Mastery tree so that we don't have to run Knowledge of Destruction. And then in the Spellblade tree, I ended up changing a lot. So I took a lot of the melee attack damage out of the build and started adding kind of different stuff. So we still have elemental affinity infused weapon. We added 2 extra points to Arcane Warden, and this is what I've been kind of leveling currently, and that's been giving me a lot more ward on hit. And then, of course, we got Arcane Shielding and Shattered Aegis maxed out. Stormblade still important because it applies spark charges on melee hit. And then we have Mana Reaver still because it's insanely good. And then, as you can see, I've taken out Prismatic Blade and I've put in Mental Fortitude. So we get more intelligence and more ward per second. Very good for ward retention and damage and defenses. And then we kept Burden of Knowledge here as well. But basically my idea is to start pulling power away from my Mana Strike and putting more power into my spells and spark charges. In the Sorcerer tree, we still have Rift Bolt and Serenomancer, but now we have Afterglow for increased spell damage and ward retention. I'm not sure if I'll keep this. It'll probably change, but I also pulled out Mana Shell. It was feeling a little lackluster as I kept developing out the build. It started feeling like this was kind of a weak point, so I swapped it for Afterglow. And then we still have Calculated Destruction here, of course. And then in the Rune Master tree, we're getting Sphere Protection. So I'll probably, currently I'm level 89. I'll probably spend 3 points here. So that's 3 out of 11. Then we'll have 8 points to spend. And those 8 points will probably be like, I don't know, probably 5 points into Essence Duel, and then maybe a few more points in Arcane Warden. Or I was thinking like maybe we go for more int through like Arcane Focus into Mental Catalysis for reduced bonus crit damage, maybe. So it's, like I said, still up in the air on exactly what the skill tree is going to look like, and I still don't even like, I think ward generation I could probably push further. I think I could probably pull some of this other damage nodes, but the tree has changed considerably for a lot more ward defenses. As you can see here, my current ward and ward retention is fantastic, so definitely a lot better there. And then for the gear, the major change that I made was I got Fragment of the Enigma. I ended up dropping one with 2 LP. Unfortunately, I had a really bad int roll and ward per second roll on the implicits, but we did get tier 7 crit multi onto it and tier 5 necrotic res, so pretty solid fragment that I'll be using for a while. And then for the chest piece, I ended up getting +3 to Mana Strike, but I'll be honest, +2 is probably all you need, and I honestly probably would have preferred a Exalted Intelligence mod here instead, but that's changing our tree slightly. So with Fragment of the Enigma, we now have +1 to all lightning spells, so we're getting a free level on Mana Strike. And as you can see, I have Respect, and so I still don't have Mana Strike level 24 yet. But Mana Strike honestly only needs to be level 22. I put the extra 2 points into Rune Sap, but I'm going to put 1 more point into Rage Sap. And yeah, I think you can basically pull those 3 levels out when we go -1, -2, and then probably -3 on Arcanist Blade. I'm not even sold on Arcanist Blade. Like, we're generating mana quite well now because we're not running Mana Storm anymore. Mana Storm was feeling very strict on mana. I was feeling strict on points and Mana Strike in general. And I noticed that Spark Charges were dealing so much damage that Mana Storm wasn't feeling like it was even useful. So we ended up putting all our points into Spark Charges. We want to get as many Spark Charges as humanly possible now with Fragment of the Enigma equipped. For Frostclaw, with the last point, I ended up adding freeze rate multiplier per 1% crit chance. Again, I don't even know where to put this node. It might be better with just putting in the Gift of Winter. And honestly, I'm considering like taking out Flame Ward from the tree and then like going into Elemental Nova and doing Elemental Nova as well as Lightning Blast. I still haven't figured it out entirely. And then this page as well, I'm considering taking out like 2 points here, or probably more like 2 points here, maybe even all 5 points here, and then getting 1-2 points there, and then having 3 points left over for I don't even know. I don't even know what else to add. Probably like capacitance would just get more zap frequency and start pulling more from the melee lightning damage, because we really are just like Mana Strike is not the thing dealing damage anymore. And then for Lightning Blast, we just added more chain. Since this is half rounded up, it means 1.5 is 2. And so it is extra damage to have 3 points of chain lightning here. And so that's what I ended up doing there. And then Flame Ward stayed the same. But like I said, I'm thinking about taking out Flame Ward and putting in Elemental Nova and just like going full Maniac mode with it. And then again, I'm still farming the catalyst, the relic. I couldn't find the unique relic. I've killed Lagon what feels like 100 times now and still haven't gotten it, but we did get Fragment of the Enigma, so I can't complain entirely, and this chest piece is pretty good. And we got some upgrades on like the belt and the helmet, although the helmet I do end up wanting to change. I don't know if I have an in-base helmet, but I wanted to change the helmet from damage dealt to life. I wanted to remove that entirely and try for something else, but I'm still searching for like a decent helmet. Like Vitality's not that bad, but again, we're going for like a ward strat. Okay, maybe something like this. Actually, this might be tremendous. So I do want to just show you some gameplay of how the build's feeling now with the changes. And also, by the way, if you haven't yet, go check out the video. I'll leave it somewhere up there in the card up there. Go check out my first video on this build so that you have an idea of what I'm talking about and how the build works. But let me just show you what the build's feeling like now. So 138 corruption, empowered monolith. We'll just give it a try, and I'm gonna just keep going the way I was going. But you'll see right off the bat the damage is much better. Oh, that's the second time I've dropped a tier 7 int on that body armor. Just like a really lousy body armor. It is what it is, though. We could probably use it for legendary potential bait at some point in the future. As you can see, like, Mana Strike's dealing a lot less damage, but our Spark Charges are dealing like upwards of 5,000 to 6,000 damage. And so the damage is just like a lot better. Yeah, that's just way better. So it has gotten improvements, and as you can see, our ward also is doing quite well now. Like 2k ward is not bad. We would like to have 3,000 or 4,000 ward by the end, and I think I can pull it off with some extra changes to gear. I've already kind of come up with like a build planner idea, and I'll leave that in the description alongside what my gear looks like now. But the idea is to go a lot more heavy into ward generation and using ward as our defense, and then having our backup defense kind of just be armor and crit strike mitigation and frailty and stuff like that. Overall, though, generating a ton of ward, I think, will be our main source of defense, and being able to keep that ward up for longer and being able to generate it faster with more on-hit effects and stuff. Now, as you can see, I'm taking a lot of like these avalanche hits before it starts to hurt, and then obviously you have to run away and generate your ward again. But when I have ward up, it's pretty good. And yeah, that's kind of the way the build works now. Let's give this helmet a craft on camera. Why not? And then we can call the video there. I think I kind of just wanted to update you guys on the new idea and the changes that I had made. So we got tier 6 int with elemental res and dodge rating. Okay, we're gonna want the health doesn't really matter that much. As for the extra prefix, I don't even really know what I want. Oh, maybe lightning crit strike multiplier. Yeah, that would be pretty good, huh? I guess it would be either that or apply spark charge on hit, because yeah, we don't want any of these levels. We don't have lightning invocation. So I'm thinking it's either chance to apply spark charge on melee hit, which I think we're generating spark charges plenty. So I'm thinking lightning crit multi. And I don't have enough affixes yet for this, but I can at least tack these two on and then maybe roll this to something that's more useful, please. Health regen, no. Cold res. Okay, so cold res gives us more crit multi on lightning blast in particular, so that's not terrible. So it's giving us more crit. It's giving us a ton more int. It's giving us CDR, cooldown recovery, and a little bit less armor. But I think I'm going to not go for this tier 5 and go for more lightning crit multi, but I think I'm going to make that switch right this moment. It also is giving us more mana, so yeah, I think that's a good change. But anyways, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed seeing the updates and you're enjoying the idea of this build. I think it's got a lot of room to still grow, but I did want to make an update real quick and show you guys the changes that I'm keeping in mind and the ideas that I'm having here. So anyways, I'll see you in the next one. All right, see you later.